Okay, sharp. What up, everybody? Welcome to it. It's another episode of Pop Radio. Excited to have our guest here today.
Yes.
She hails from PTA. She's traveled the world because her father was working all over the place.
Yes.
But now she's settled up in Mzansi. She's got 2 EPs out. And I don't want to say their names because I'll basically give them away.
Yeah.
But the artist name is?
Filah Lah Lah.
Filah Lah La 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 La.
There's too many lahs happening there by Scoop. But yes, we do have Filah Lah La who's going to be joining us today, chatting about her music, chatting about who she is, why we need to pay attention. It's also nice for us to kind of, zone in a new artist, not necessarily just the old school artist. So I'm quite keen for today. I just want to hear a little bit more about her.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think you guys are going to be thoroughly impressed. And then I know you might not know her, but it'll urge you to go find out more about her. So
yeah, keep
let's
your
do
mind
it.
open, basically.
Showcase.
But before we get into Filah Lah Lah's interview, we're also going to get into some hot new music that we've been kind of checking out. So still chatting about the ladies, me, I'm always trying to make sure that the girls kind of, get their way in. Somebody whose album I've been listening to as well, hailing from Durban, Lex Lafoy. She's got a new album out. It's called New World Daughter. I
like the title.
Yeah, I love how she's used different Durban imagery in the album because I don't know, I'm just still trying to figure out her ethnicity. I don't want to be too wrong, but I don't know if she's colored or if she's slightly Indian or she's also got a bit of black in her, but there's a mixture happening there by Lex, and it comes through in the music as well because you can hear that she spent a lot of time in Durban and she's speaking a lot of cultural things as well about umthandazo ngapha. She's also got a song called Izangoma, so it's nice to see how she's also entrenching herself in South African culture. So I'm enjoying the album. Yeah.
And as you were speaking, I tried to hide it very well, but I was going through my hair trying to scream. And I just don't have anyone at this moment in time.
Really? You're not checking out anybody else in the
No, not really.
Not even the likes of, you obviously found the interview for today for Filah Lah La. Is there no one else?
There we go. There we go. We had that audio Mac. I also was one of the first people to interview Filah Lah on Why when I was working there. So I guess that's the new vibes that I'm bringing out today.
Okay, so Scoop is more on your neo soul R&B type of vibe. He's catching into his feelings.
Say that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not catching into the feelings. I'm catching into the artistry.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's always had the feelings, basically.
Basically, who doesn't have feelings? Life in.
For sure. All right, with that, we are going to jump straight into our interview with the beautiful Miss Filah Lah La.
Should I go with the bomb right now?
Let's go.
Can I go to say what right now?
Go with it.
Say what?
What else you want to try?
Nothing else.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, peace out. Let's do the interview. I feel like I should start with a soundbite just to orientate myself in the board.
Yes.
I haven't sat in the middle in such a long time.
Yeah.
I hope I will run it as well as Cosmo does. What's up, everybody? Ninjani Apple. It's Pop Radio once again. We've got an amazing guest with us today, but we'll let you guys figure it out later on while we give her the questions. Kozi, unjani?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Japhila nam sisi, no complaints at all.
Good to see you.
Good to see you
Quite
too.
Keen for our interview for today?
Yes, Mayam. Are you keen for the interview, Mayam?
I'm extremely keen for this
Sure.
interview today.
This is Filah Lah La.
Yes, it is.
And, for me, I just call it Filah La.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where did the name come from?
Well, my real name is Filah, and it's spelled Fila. And I'm named after my paternal grandmother, and everybody used to call her Lala. So it's basically just our name, Filah Lah La.
What does it mean?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I have no idea. I just know it's a family name.
And the vernacular name is, I was Riabetso, right?
Yes, Riabet.
Sure. Where are you from?
I'm from Pretoria.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But the accent is kind of maybe makes us maybe ask, and I know if I don't ask it, the people definitely will. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that out of the way.
Okay, actually let's get out of the way. My dad was in foreign affairs.
Sure.
So we lived overseas for the first 10 years of my life.
Sure.
And overseas is Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
And Jakarta, Indonesia.
Yo.
So that's why my accent is a little bit
Sure.
weird, because my formative years were in
And
America.
how was that? I mean, you must have been exposed to so much at such an early age.
Yeah, definitely. Like a very privileged life in a sense. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And
yeah.
what did you feel like the difference also for you was growing up in a space like California, which is obviously first world, but then you're moving over to Indonesia, also still doing their thing. But I mean, just like the cultural differences and then coming back to South Africa. How did that kind of get you to a place where you could kind of find yourself as an individual?
I won't lie, it was hard. It was hard. Moving around that young to places that are so vastly different was very difficult. And then still trying to find your sense of South Africanness within that was extremely difficult. But, you know, you learn over time. My parents never faltered when it came to teaching us Vernac. They never faltered when it came to letting us be exposed to different economic conditions. Even when we were in Indonesia, we'd go to the poorest places in Indonesia, then the richest, you know, same thing in California. Our doctor was in Compton.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, so I had a double exposure, and I think it helped. But getting to that point of like, okay, this is Ria. And Ria is defined by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And not just one thing. That was difficult, but we're here now.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I do.
It seems like when I watch you, it seems like you could have easily gotten into modeling. Like, was that anything that you thought about?
I did model for a little bit.
There you go.
I found it. I found it. And then when did you choose what to do and not pursue modeling and maybe just go for the music?
I think when I realized that modeling wasn't actually helping me with my self-worth and my sense of validation, I think modeling was kind of crippling me in that sense, you know, because I understood that I had a look that could work for modeling, but I didn't have the modeling look. I'm not as tall as most models, bigger bust, you know, even just different body shape altogether. And that kind of thing sets you back, you know, because people in the modeling industry will make that apparent to you. They will say it. They will say it. They'll say, oh, you know, your boobs are just too big, girl.
Ish, not gonna fit into this one.
Not this one, baby.
Just kind of going back still to your upbringing, because obviously I understand there's differences with staying in different places, but now having to nestle back into South Africa, having to nestle back into Pretoria is a very South A. Like, there's one thing about Pretoria, and I think it's also because I've been spending a lot of time there recently. I've noticed that in and as much as people go to good schools and they speak good English, they still insist on speaking Spitori.
Sure.
Because for them, that's your gate pass into Pretoria. Otherwise, don't even bother coming through. Did you not feel like there was something missing for you to actually get into that kind of Spitori vibe, or was it something that you kind of also had to grow up into as well?
Yeah, I think I had to grow up into that as well.
Can you speak Spitori like fully in? They're gonna revoke your card.
It's already been revoked. My dad is from Mums, you know, like Mums West, and he's like so respected in his community, and we were just his kids, you know, like shining. Like, that's how people saw Indonesia. Oh, Filah Lah Lah, shining, you know. We were just the kids that had a different experience, and everybody just accepted that. Okay. So we were treated differently, but we were always still accepted, and I think my dad had a lot to do with that. Yeah.
Musically, the way you sound, the choice of, I wouldn't even call it genre, but the choice of music you do, it's almost like there's there's a few of you young people with such old souls, you know, and your music you are young, but there's such a mature person coming through with the lyrics, with the subject matter, and I often wonder, like, what do our parents think? Like, she's speaking about love like this, you know what I mean? She's so young. How old are you? Are you like 19?
What?
What?
Maybe I'm confusing you with someone else.
I get this so much.
Yeah.
I am not 19.
Okay, I'm confusing you with someone else.
I am 26.
Whoa! Yo, I go right. I say 18 sana. I say 18 sana. Okay, I got you. But what I was wanting to ask is, have your parents been involved in grooming you and grooming your ear and your musical taste. I mean, you have jazz elements in there, you have neo soul elements in there. Your pen has got a poetry feel to it. You write very well. So were your parents involved, or your siblings? Like, how did you get into making this kind of music?
Yeah, like my main influences are jazz, neo soul, and hip hop. And my parents listened to a lot of jazz, a lot of soul, a lot of old school R&B.
Is there something on my hat?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Because you keep looking.
No,
I do that. I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Like
Okay.
yeah.
Got you.
Social anxiety. Don't look people in
You'll
the
be
eyes
all right.
sometimes. But yeah, so I think what I grew up listening to, Nina Simone, Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, like just people of that caliber, I wanted to sound like them. And I think that's what every kind of artist is doing. You want to like emulate what you grew up knowing. And you will it'll always be different because it's your interpretation of it.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah, definitely what I grew up listening to, my parents and my brothers, like hip hop. Because even the way that I write is sort of, it's almost rappy. You know, it's a little rappy.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely my upbringing, yeah, for sure.
But then didn't you feel, especially from a music influence perspective, because I think a lot of us have those memories of parents playing jazz and playing R&B and so forth, but eventually you move away from spending time with your parents and you spend time with your friends. And then your friends take you to the tavern and they're playing house and they're playing other funny things. Didn't you feel like that was also kind of like a pressured direction for you to take your music? Because sometimes it kind of becomes a thing where it's like, okay, cool, I could go into my niche corner and do this R&B neo soul thing, or I could do what's hot right now, and that's maybe like vocal house or maybe jumping into piano or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I mean, I think every artist who is interested in subject matter that's other or styles that are other does have that moment where they kind of ask themselves, like, you know, would it be better if I pursued this? If I did it this way, the way everybody else is doing it, or the way that seems right for the time? But, you know, you get to a point where you realize that if you really want to do something, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
And you have to create the space that you're not seeing.
Sure.
And, you know, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And so these pressures to be Filah in genres that don't suit Filah, it kind of wore off with my determination to just be authentically myself.
With you being authentically yourself and doing quite well at it, would you go into a vocal house? Now that you have established your terrain, would you do another genre if you had to be featured by a Maporisa for piano or by whoever's doing house at the time, you know? Is it something
Prince
you think
KB.
about? Prince KB. Because they'll be just looking at the vocal.
True.
Have you thought about it? Or you're looking to establish yourself like proper on this?
Yeah, maybe let's like have an album before we
Sure.
talk about these things. But yeah, I'm definitely like open to it. I think what I have to give and the way that I do what I do will always sound like me no matter where, you know, we place it. So yeah, and I'm happy that I'm at that point now because I wasn't at that point before philosophy. Now I'm a little bit more confident in the fact that like my style will always be my style. Here, there, everywhere.
Your
I'm
signature.
Filah. I'm Filah. Yeah.
I was actually about to ask for you to kind of break that down a little bit as well, because I think sometimes getting into music, everybody needs to have that moment where they're like, okay, cool, I can get into this thing. You have a voice, obviously, so that's obviously your speaking ground. But what kind of thing makes you different? Do you know what I mean? Because as an artist, you have to say, okay, I'm now going to step on stage. Why are people going to pay attention to me? Yeah.
Oh, I don't
What's
know.
your X factor? What's your pull factor?
Have you identified your X factor?
Yeah.
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 What is it?
My X factor is my vulnerability.
Nice.
I think people just see, I can't hide from it. So it's one of those things that I've just decided to use as my strength and as the thing that propels me forward. And it's become such a relatability factor when it comes to me. And that's why when I get messages from people who listen to the music, it's always on a personal level.
Yeah.
Because I'm so personal and I'm so open and vulnerable and I'm just so
You are personal.
Yeah.
There are elements of you that are very like vague and ambiguous, and I love that because I think songwriting, especially, you're like it's almost like on a Frank Oceanist type tip where your titles might not like relate fully to your lyrics. You know, things go like this with your music, and sometimes there's a middle road to it. When did you start recording? When did you start like going to the studio and developing yourself like to become this person? Is it a long time ago? Is it something new?
I started recording when I was in uni. So like I'd say my first like ever studio session was maybe like in 2015.
Okay.
But I'd been writing songs since
That's pretty recent
Yeah,
though.
that's
For you to be so fully developed right now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
People
really
take
recent.
years to actually hone the skill because I don't think people pay attention too much to the fact that having a voice is actually an instrument. You need to work at it. You need to practice. You need to make sure that you get your tone right because you could be out of the loop for 3 years and then you've completely lost your vocal range. You need to go back and work it again. So for like he's mentioning, 2015 is literally like yesterday.
Yesterday, dog.
You know what I mean? So big ups to you on that. But of course, you're mentioning the fact that you were singing even when you were in university. Obviously, you being a law graduate.
Sounds so impressive.
Yo, KO was a graduate.
Yes.
We're speaking to graduates the whole time.
Yeah.
Elevation.
So you being a law graduate obviously might have gotten you in a position where you are contemplating which direction to take. And I think this is the hardest part for a lot of artists because it's like all our parents tell us you either must be a lawyer or a doctor or a policeman or a teacher or an accountant or something. So you obviously follow that path, but at some point then your talent is just like, yo, I'm here and I need attention too. What was that defining moment for you to then decide, okay, I'm not doing this law thing. I don't want to read books for the rest of my life. Let me go into music.
Yeah, I literally almost dropped out of school pretty much every year since first year. Like, from first year, I'd be like, I go to my parents and be like, guys, I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm not happy. This is weird. I don't want to do this. Let me do something in the arts, whatever. And, you know, I stuck it through. And then by like third year, I was just kind of like, you know, I'm at a crossroads. Like, it's either I try this music thing out and whatever happens, happens. Or, you know, I just never know.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have forgiven myself for never knowing.
Yeah.
And so, and at that point, music had been following me because in my first year, I joined a band. My roommate's boyfriend at the time, like, heard me singing while I was packing my closet. And he's like, you want to be in a band?
Oh, wow.
And it was weird because I thought I was going to be like a backup singer. And I ended up being the lead. And it followed me. It just followed me everywhere to a point where it was like itching. And so I just decided when I was in my final year that, you know what, I'm going to try. I'm going to do it no matter what happens. And, you know, we're here.
I was about to ask you about the friends, you know. Like, did they ever say, yo, dude, you should pursue music? But now you've answered that question. So the other side of it is coming from a house, and I would just assume it's academic because light attracts light. So if your dad is out there being foreign minister to these places, your mom is obviously also scholarly about hers, and that's why they met. So were your parents okay with you choosing to do the creative side of things, or did it hurt them when you decided that you're gonna chill with the law and maybe go to the music?
It didn't hurt them, but it definitely worried them.
Sure.
Because it would worry any parent. You know? It's just one of those things that doesn't feel like a assured goal or, you know, something that you're bound to get.
And you could be dope, but you could never blow up and make it still.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That kind of stuff happens all the time. So yeah, in the beginning of my career, I didn't have the support from my family until kind of the results of me pursuing it started coming through. But it was never a situation of they didn't think I could sing or think I could write a song. I mean, I used to write songs all the time and show them my songs, you know. But it was just fear.
Gotcha.
Because, I mean, our parents are also people who haven't accomplished a lot of things they wanted to accomplish in their life.
True.
And they don't want you to go through something similar. or worse.
Got you.
And I guess that can also kind of cause a little bit of the vulnerability that you were mentioning a little bit earlier. But what are some of those experiences that you always have to kind of tap into to get into your music? Because to be somebody as emotional, like you're mentioning in your songs, you don't just write in J because you see your friend going through a breakup. You say, oh, okay, there's a story. You have to go through something yourself. Can you let us in a little bit more on some of those experiences or some of those highlighting experiences that you kind of tap into?
What I will say is that I've gone through a lot of loss in my life. I've lost a lot of people. Loss is just one of those things that it's so
sobers
surreal.
you up.
Yeah, it sobers you up. It's so surreal, and not everybody's lost something, of course, but not everybody can relate to the certain levels that you go through with it. I mean, I've lost my father, my older brother,
Wow.
all of my grandparents. You know what I mean? Like, and also loss of like love. Like, you know, when you hit your mid-20s, all of a sudden you have way less friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, loss of people in your life, breakups, all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm so emotional, obviously. Obviously. And so it really hits you deep.
Yeah.
Is it like a therapy for you to make those songs? Because they are very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It is. It is. And this EP was supposed to be out like in April.
What took so long?
Was
COVID.
that, well, no, but it needed to be perfected. Like that therapy session needed to be the best way that I could present it. And so even when I was still holding on to it and it wasn't out, like it was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It was so heavy on me. Like I was, whew. So when I released it, it was kind of like a,
Shedding.
yeah, it was a breath, like an exhale.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and my music and the content of my music were like,
No doubt.
yeah.
It's beautiful. What's the one thing about your musical journey that's kind of shocked you about how far you've kind of taken it? Because I think for most artists, when they actually do get into music, they don't necessarily, like everybody says, okay, yes, I want to be a superstar, must be known throughout the world, whatever the case is. But sometimes it's things that happen where you're just like, oh, okay, I didn't see that one coming. Oh, okay, it's actually happening. You know, I'm taking this music to the next level. What was that moment for you?
Probably the Apple Music Up Next
Mm-hmm.
announcement.
When did that happen?
Earlier this month. It was just like, what? Like, I don't know. It was so surreal. And like the artist before last month was like Thames. So I was like, what? Like I'm there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in consideration of something this important. Yeah.
And you've just had 2 projects, not even released an album yet. You've had 2 EPs, right?
Yeah.
Philosophy
Yeah.
and We're Gonna Be Alright.
We're gonna be just fine.
We're gonna be just fine, sorry. I listened to both, but I want you to tell me the growth from both. Ding, it rhymes.
Yeah, the growth from both. Yeah, Philosophy was a little bit more like, hi, I'm here.
Sure.
You know? You guys got to listen to me now.
Pay attention.
Yeah, y'all paying attention. I'm here.
Yeah.
Hi. This is the thing we're doing now. And We're going to be just fine is more of like, hi, I'm here and I'm trying my best and I'm growing and I'm changing and so much is going on and I was trying to create more of a sonic experience with We're Going to Be Just Fine.
Got you.
I think Philosophy was a vocal experience and it was like edgy and it was like attitude and this and that. But We're Going to Be Just Fine, I was like, movie.
The other crazy thing about it when you talk about experiences, and I love that you mentioned that, the visuals, the creative direction, whoever's shooting it, whoever's editing it, like since you started in like 2015, even the production, you know, because your voice and your sound and your lyrics would be nothing or would get lost if it wasn't accompanied by that bed of production that you have.
Definitely.
And it takes we were talking about this with KO, it takes a long time for people to find their producer. And when they do, it's also hard for them to stick with that producer. But since you're new, how did you find this producer? How did you guys find each other?
Well, Mike Colombo produced Philosophy, like the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And he found me on Instagram.
Word.
Yeah, so like...
These things are important, eh? Like the net is really like
social
doing the
media
job.
can change people's lives immediately.
For the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Definitely. I used to do like singing videos, and I was singing like a rendition of that Hallelujah song.
Which one?
It's a golden, it's a broken hallelujah.
I don't know that one.
You don't know that one? Well, yeah, it's not really like a religious song, but it's... Yeah, but anyway, he loved it, and then he reached out to me, and he's like, hey, I want to produce your project. I was like, I'm not even thinking about doing a project. I don't know what's going on. COVID has just started. Like, I don't know what's happening with my life. And he's like, no, let me do this for you. And it just ended up being like a really perfect combination for the time. It was just luck, really. It was just luck or fate. I don't know.
And obviously with how you kind of getting your music in a specific space, neo soul, R&B, you're trying to make sure that people kind of see you in this lane. Are you also kind of trying to reach out for different types of features as well that will fit in that box, maybe even some international over and above locally?
Yeah, I think for the album, definitely there's going to be more features. I haven't had a lot of features in my first two projects because I just needed my voice to be heard.
I think you've just had one.
Yeah, just one.
The dude, what's his name?
Samuel Miller, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he's great.
He's amazing.
He's really great. So the album is definitely going to have like I have so many people in mind. So I'm hoping that I will be able to have access to them. God willing. God willing.
Back to the creative direction. So we talked about, even the people you mentioned already sound like international people. Where's Colombo from?
Yeah, Colombo is from the DRC.
Is he there now or here?
No, he's actually in Atlanta. He's been living in Atlanta for like...
So you guys produce via the web?
Yeah, it was like a real foreign exchange.
That's crazy. And then your visual direction guy, how did you find him? Did he find you as well? Or maybe it might be a girl. We'll never know. Or maybe it might be a they in these days and times that we're living in.
We found each other.
Sure.
On set of like a commercial, and then we became best friends, and then we fell in love, and then we just became partners, and now we share like one vision, one soul, mind, one heart, all of that stuff.
Dope.
Yeah.
The visuals are crazy, man. For real.
Thank you so much.
But it seems like you've obviously got I mean, if you're saying that your producer is staying in Atlanta at the moment, you have the possibility for you to kind of reach out and get to certain artists that might not be staying here, but maybe staying in the States or whatever the case is. Who are some of your dream collaborations? Because yes, you're mentioning that you've got some features on the album, but some of those people that you're kind of looking at like, yo, if I could get this person on a track, we could take it to the next.
Frank Ocean, SZA.
Yeah,
I'm asking you. This is not your interview, and
I was already there.
it's not your question.
Sorry, Doug.
No, but he's right, definitely. Like, I think those two are like at the top of the list. And Solange too. I like her writing.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But I also would like to have you, I think you're very close with SZA. I mean, and Ocean, I would like to see you go far left with it or far right with it. And it'll happen organically, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing I wanted to also speak about, which is something that is not a bad thing, but I just want to express it. I've expressed it to you on WhatsApp, that you have a very breathy tone, especially when you're singing. And sometimes it's difficult to hear what you're saying.
Yes.
And it's a double-edged sword because one, it forces me to listen over and over and over and over again. And then the other part is, what the fuck is she saying? But even though I can't hear your words, there's a certain frequency that resonates with when you're speaking. Sometimes it sounds like a howl or a screech or a scream or a whimper or something like that, you know? And I could hear you a lot more on Philosophy.
Yeah.
you like with we're gonna be
Just fine.
just fine. It was quite difficult at times, and at times it seems like you're speaking a different language.
I mean,
Am I the first one to say that? Does
no.
it? No.
And like it's gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I sing in a weird kind of sort of accent. I don't know if you've noticed, but
Duh.
I do.
Yeah.
Gosh, but I'm so like unashamed of it. Like I don't mind the mystery about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once people actually research the lyrics, they're like, oh my God, like this was some penmanship going on over here. So yeah, I'm not, and also like my favorite singers are people who used to sing in cursive. Like Nina Simone and Amy Winehouse are like my favorite singers of all time.
What does that mean?
You can never hear what the hell they're saying.
Break that down for people who don't understand what singing in cursive is.
It's like singing in English, but somehow it doesn't sound like English when you sing.
Nina Simone is better. Amy Winehouse is really cursive.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But
it's
she
just-
also had other influences, so maybe that's why we couldn't
Exactly.
quite hear her, because she wasn't recording
True that.
100%.
True that. Yeah, no.
Oh, but I love her.
But I love that
Yeah,
expression, singing in cursive. Do you read? Do you? How do you sharpen your vocabulary, because it's there? And how do you sharpen your penmanship? As a lawyer, I get it. You had to read a lot of stuff, but you have a more creative writing influence when you write. How did you get that? Is it inbred? Is it something you had to pick up or learn? And how do you hone it?
Yeah, I think it's just from writing from like a really young age. I've been writing since I was 9.
Word. Writing what? Songs?
Songs. I've been writing songs since I was 9. So, 9 to 26.
Say what?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. You definitely had to be a musician then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the bug bit me really early.
That's crazy. All right. So also then, outside of just the musical influences, also just becoming an artist, you also find yourself emulating or maybe even kind of taking little snippets from different people from a image perspective, maybe just who you kind of look at from a fashion icon perspective as well. Because obviously, if I look at the way that you're dressed today, I love how you've put your look together, but it's not something that you would necessarily see like day to day. This is what, the normal lady looks like. So some of your fashion influences.
I don't know, probably Lauryn Hill. Yeah, Lauryn Hill was like crazy, sexy, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and TLC.
Yes. Yes.
Of course.
And Erica. Erica.
Shame TLC, I don't want you guys to feel left out.
You're gonna watch this and call Scoop and be like, hey, nah.
Yeah, Asmos. Yes.
Hey, because Scoop gets those international calls all the time.
Anyway, Utaisi interview Yamle. You were talking about the style influences. Now, having given us such material in your EP, what the fuck can we expect from the album? Is it in the process of being recorded? Give us the timeline of when we can expect that. And also, I know it's pretty hard to say when you're in the mode of working on it, but what can we expect? Because you've given us such thick layers of yourself in these first 2 EPs, What does the frontier look like for you with the album?
I don't want to say too much.
Sure.
But I will say, like you said, I have layers. And there's parts of me that I still am yet to show. And that's what you can expect. That's it. That's all I'm going to say for now.
All right. We'll take
Okay.
that. When can we expect it? Next year for sure. Is it first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, or maybe last quarter? Saz, Jordan of this thing. Show up at the last quarter.
No, I'm not going to do dates anymore because...
Yeah, that thing blocks you down.
It
And then when you don't
really-
meet the people like, hey, when we're waiting.
Siglindi.
Now they're outside your house with balaclavas waiting for the album. It's tricky now. I hear you.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay, so I really need to ask what's happening there, because I've been staring at it and I'm like, is that a piercing? Is it
It's
just
not a piercing.
Is it
It's
just
just-
stuck on, or what's the
It's
story?
it's just something that I do.
Really? It's
yeah.
beautiful.
You
It
like?
doesn't hurt, ne?
No, not at all.
Is it glued on?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, But you don't make it sound so like, your voice got so much bass in it. There's a glue down. Just wait. It's like, it's been delicately...
It's placed there.
It's been delicately placed on my chest.
No, I had to double check because some people, I've seen a lot of piercings lately that I'm just like, how did you get that right? So, okay, it's an accessory.
I might get a piercing there though. Maybe this is a sign. Who knows?
Sure. Sure. How about the boy? He's like, we see you, bro. We see you. I feel like you know, in this day and time, people find it very hard to recline into themselves, to relax into themselves. And more than that, they find it very hard to show themselves to people. In a genre like, especially in music, it's just so easy to just want to follow everybody else. I feel like you relish being yourself. I feel like you relish being different. Does that come from the traveling? Was it hard to get to that point? Or was it something that came easy for you?
It wasn't hard to get to this point in a mental sense, because I've always been treated differently. I've always been in a space where I'm the person that people are wondering, what are you doing here? You know, like, so no. But, you know, you grow up and obviously you get all these influences and people are telling you that it's not really that great that you're this different. And sometimes you need to be reminded. And sometimes it was difficult for me to remind myself. So I think having like my family and my best friends in the whole wide world be the people to be like, you know what, dude, what you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Sure.
You are exactly who you're supposed to be. Don't ever question that. Because we think you're dope. And I'm pretty sure other people will think you're dope. And anybody who's telling you that you're not dope is somebody who isn't fully realized themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I do relish in being different.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Does most of your following come from home? I would presume you're getting a lot more looks overseas by the way the interview is going and the people you've mentioned. I know that there are South Africans that are ready for you, but I know that the majority of the country is not there yet. So when you do your analytics and when you go and do your research onto where the music is hitting, where are you getting love, or is it both sides?
Yeah, the top countries are South Africa and the US.
Word. Shout out to Miss Zonsi. Proud of you for that one.
All right, so you need to at least have one like performance that has kind of blown your mind away. Can you let us know which one that possibly was?
I just playing with you.
Josia hates me.
I'm just playing with you. Go on, P.
Is it one of mine? You mean one of mine?
No, I mean one of yours. Yes. What are your favorite live performances? Sisi.
No, I don't want to do that.
I said one of your. It doesn't have to be the favorite. It has to be one of your favorites.
Okay, you know, the performances I really loved were the ones that I did in uni with the band.
Sure.
When I was still like, I mean, I'm still hungry now, obviously, but when I was still like trying to figure out me. Like I had mad stage presence in uni. Like I was just like this skinny little dark-skinned girl and bobbing my head and doing funny faces when I sang and all of that stuff. So
shout out to the people in uni. I don't think we would have had you without them.
Yeah.
Very true.
Okay, that one doesn't
No,
go.
you pressed it.
Yeah, you.
That was for you, the uni peeps. How many of them were there? Like, what was the band called?
Redwood Band.
Redwood Band, and it was what, guitarist, drummer, keyboardist. How was the band?
Yeah, we had
constructed?
keys, drums, bass, lead guitar, and then we had a rapper, and then we had me.
It's fine. That's for the uni people as well. Ringing the alarm for you guys.
Ring a ding ding.
Are you still in touch with them?
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, and now I know my roots.
They must be
And
proud.
you still work with some of them?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, definitely. I don't forget where I'm from. Okay. Never.
Coming to the live performance, I don't see you at a club, obviously.
Yeah.
you talked about creating the spaces that don't exist. COVID has given us a lot of time to really, maybe before COVID we were thinking about the spaces, but COVID made us create the spaces because we didn't have a choice. What kind of space do you see yourself performing at outside of your videos? Because I know that would work, but like I'm just trying to find, where would you see yourself performing? Because also in South Africa, especially in Joburg, we don't have that many. We don't have an Apollo Theater. We don't have those venues, you know?
Yeah.
Everything is just, because hip-hop went so big, everything was just club-centered.
Yeah.
And everything is very, hey, Cape Town Jazz Festival. I see you there, of course, but it don't exist no more, you know? So are you, with an artist like yourself, are you looking to jump on stages that are created by people that might be for you, or are you thinking about really going on creating your own tours and your own stages and your own platform?
Definitely. Like, I have really big dreams. I really do. Yeah. I mean, I want to have my own label. I want to, I really like want to do all of these things, and I want to be at the genesis of like my own movement. And this is just such a time for it, like there's a shift going on. There is a renaissance.
Straight up.
Say what?
Definitely a shift.
See, you got the timing right now. I see you.
I had a good teacher.
It's beautiful to kind of see how you're also trying to get yourself into bigger spaces, trying to get yourself into bigger rooms, and the music as well. You're mentioning having wanting to open a label as well, which really interests me, because sometimes, I mean, we've seen in the past about other artists who have owned labels and things kind of going pear-shaped and not necessarily going in the direction that you wanted it to. What is it specifically that you want to create with your label, and the people that you're possibly going to sign, that is going to make sure that you get, like you said, the legacy that you want for the label?
I just think having like that representation, like people really don't, or maybe they do, I don't know, but I feel like when we say the word representation, it's becoming so gimmicky now. Like people just look at it like, oh, I want to see myself in this person, but it's more than that. It's representation even in business. And I want to be a Black woman who is just a force. And so I know that that's not going to be easy. And I know that these kinds of goals are not easily accomplished, but past failures don't discourage me.
Yeah.
They just don't. And if I say I want to start my own label, I'm going to try to make it happen.
Do you have a name for it already?
No.
Okay.
Hey, you was hoping for the exclusive there.
It's manifestation, Taylor, When the name is there, then you can manifest this thing. But it'll come, it'll come.
No, it'll come with time. I mean, obviously, I'm still trying to focus on music and all of that. But, yeah, I want to sign people who see the vision, who see themselves in a future sound, in a future space where there's just coexistence, like a real kind of, like not economy, what is the word?
Ecosystem.
Thank you. An ecosystem of just pure, wonderful art.
You sound like Anderson .Paak right now. He just started his own label called Ape Shit. And he was saying the exact same thing. Like
Really?
He just wants musicians who can play instruments, who love performing, He was talking about the same shit.
Exactly.
Writing, recording. I'm in love with the creative process. I know most musicians' ideas, and even creative ideas, people talk about the shower being such an important factor, that morning period, lying in the bed for an hour, all those late night, post 12 o'clock times. People don't normally speak about during the day for creative inspiration that much, because obviously your day has started going already. When do ideas come to you? When do you pen well? Is it morning, afternoon, evening, or is it any of those times?
Yeah, it's any of those times.
You always wrote with a notebook?
Yeah, like I will start with my phone and then be like, no. And then start writing it. And like the worst handwriting too, like doctor's handwriting damn near. And just like have ideas and just, and even on my busiest days, like I could be at the mall and something will come to me.
That's amazing, man. I think also because the songwriting process is different for different people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is there that one thing that you also kind of need to kind of zone into so that you you then say, okay, I'm actually gonna write and finish the song today? Because what if you've got like a deadline or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, there's definitely a level of focus that needs to be tapped into. But it's not difficult for me, especially if I am really feeling the song that I'm trying to accomplish. So yeah, no, I just love music so much.
Are you a one-take wonder? Or do you have to like kind of go in and perfect it because you're critiquing yourself that much that you need to go in and record like 4 times?
I will do 80 takes.
Wow.
With no shame.
Also with the notes that you hit, I can presume you have to go in there and re-record sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you do go high, low, in the between.
Yeah, and I used to feel very guilty about having to do more than
because
4
it's studio
takes.
time. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
It's expensive.
But, you know.
With the vulnerability, do you record at home? Do you have a studio at home? Or do you go to because I can imagine you leaving home with this material that's so close to you and going to these cold studios to record.
Yeah, no. I do have a home studio, yeah.
Nigga.
You.
I just stop it before.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense, you know, for you to be able to open yourself up like that. It would be hard to do it in some studios that are not closely linked to you.
Yeah, studios can feel very daunting sometimes. Like, they can be very beautiful and have everything like the best.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're not able to get into that zone because
Sometimes you need that basement, bro.
it's cold.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. All right, so we're going to get into a little bit of lightheartedness and get into a game, which is something we do on Pop Radio for all of our guests.
Cosmo's looking for the questions. The creative direction for the videos, do you also come up with that, or is it a team effort?
It's a team effort, but it's like a 2-man team effort.
Sure.
Yeah, like bouncing off of each other. And
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to jump straight into the game. So what I do is I'm going to give you a name of an artist, typically South African artist, and I'm going to see if you're going to know their artist name. So I'm going to give you their ID name.
The government. Like, we'll say Calvin Broders, then we'll say Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
And Snoop's don't listen to me, Snoop. Scoop is gonna help you.
Try
help you because he doesn't know what I'm gonna read out
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
All right, so we're gonna jump into it now. All right, so name the artist. Charmaine Shamiso Mapimbiro.
Simi?
Charmaine
Shamiso Mapimbiro.
Sure.
The surname might give away a little of her ethnicity.
Makati?
No.
Caligrit. Give us a clue.
Yeah.
Okay, the second name.
No, can look a clue for the first name.
Yes.
Oh, the second name.
Her second name is very similar to what her artist name is.
Shakana.
No.
Damn it.
Her name is Shamiso.
Yeah.
Sha.
That's why I said Shakana.
Sha.
Oh, Shasha. Sorry.
And I said her surname might give away her ethnicity because
Zim.
she's from Zim.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, girl, man. Hey. Sorry. Yeah, we are exposing ourselves for the genre that we listen to
Yeah, no.
or not listen to.
Yeah. All right, I've got another one here. Lebohang Mafulatsi.
Isn't that Sugar Smacks?
Nope.
Is it a girl or a guy?
It's a guy.
What genre?
I think he's neo soul. Or is he a rapper? No, he's neo soul. Rap? No, he's a rapper. Sorry.
Lebohang.
The
Yeah.
Bang Bang?
Lebohang Mafulatsi. But he makes like different type of music. It's not like
Song Nyana.
I have a song with him.
Oh shit. You're in trouble now.
who does
Oh shit, you're in trouble now,
who
dog.
does your publishing, girl? I'm stressed.
Wait, what?
Okay, the first name should tell you the first part of his name.
Lebohang.
Lebohang.
Lebo.
Yes. Lebo who?
Lebo M.
No. I should hope not, but no. Lebo lukewarm.
Oh damn. We suck. Sorry, bro.
Level.
Yeah, sorry, Libs.
One-ish. I'm so
Hey.
sorry.
Hey.
Are you
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna fetch you. All right, Ntokozo Mdluli.
Cosmo, Dimples, where you guys get these
Yeah,
names?
This one, come on. This one, I feel like it's easy.
No, dog, it's not. You're looking at the name.
It's
So
literally
give us
easy
clues,
because you're
fella.
looking at it.
Okay, but I can't give you a clue because that'll be too easy. I think I need to give it to her. He's a prolific South African rapper.
I'm sitting right here so I can hear the clue.
Legend.
What's his name?
Ntokozo Mdluli.
Legend,
South African rapper.
late or alive?
Alive. Kicking. 10 years in.
It's not KO.
It is KO.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to give easier clues than that. All right.
I love the way you said I'm gonna give it to her as if you're gonna close the curtain and shut that.
I was saying that because I didn't want an easier clue for you because you were gonna get it easier.
You guys are going to get me in trouble with this game.
All right, the
I'm
last
so
one.
bad at this.
The last one, who is seemingly becoming the king of Pretoria. Litloho Nolo Mulefe.
Focalistic.
Nope.
Damn it.
25K?
Yeah.
One thing I can tell you, go to hip hop, put your hip hop, dog. Understand?
Hip
Hip hop, dog. Hip hop.
Akikutsa January.
Yay.
It's too much. It's too much. That's it. So she has to ask us now some stuff. Or what?
Yes. On there, you have a couple of phrases or terms or something that's got to do with South African music.
30 seconds.
We have 30. What?
Okay.
Oh, just general. All right. So you've got 30 seconds to explain to us what's on there, and we have to try and guess. Are you ready? I've got a 30 seconds timer. Don't worry, girl.
Okay.
I got you. And go.
If it's not small, it's
Big.
what is your
Big scoop.
tribe?
Oh, big Xhosa.
Bit closer.
No.
Big Zulu.
Yes.
Big Xhosa. I'm Xhosa. I just have a Zulu name. 30 seconds.
All right. It was trending. The car just now on Twitter. It was trending. It's like a big Mercedes.
Maybach.
No, it's like a big Mercedes. It's sort of
Yes.
yes.
Big class.
We were just talking about it. It's a place I don't really want to go record music at.
Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, last one.
Time
Give us
is
the last one.
up.
Give us the last one.
I wasn't gonna get this last one.
Try.
No, I wasn't gonna get this last one.
What was it?
Let's
I
see.
know I feel bad because I feel like it's an acronym I should know and I don't.
Let's see. Oh, South African Hip Hop Awards. SAHA.
I've never seen them in an acronym.
We're not, it's not a test. It's, not
okay.
school. It's not varsity.
It's okay, girl.
Personally.
It's okay, girl.
It's okay.
Don't
it's okay.
worry, don't
We've got
worry.
it. Shout outs for that, man. I got to green the horn for that.
Thank you so much for your energy. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming through, for sharing a piece of yourself with us. And I'm hoping that this interview's obviously opened you up a little bit more to some of our viewers as well as to new people, just to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
Obviously preempting for the album to come out as well.
Of course.
And of course, she didn't give us a date, so we don't know.
The
We'll
album
just
is
wait.
called No Timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. just wait for it. It's coming.
Yeah, appreciate it, Filah.
Oh,
Filah.
how? You know
A lot of people
what?
get
Yeah,
it.
it happens,
It,
ne?
It does happen.
Yeah. Yes.
It does happen.
Have you guys reached out and been like, okay, how are we going to deal with this?
No, but we have had like one minor Twitter interaction some time ago. It's very small though, but she's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
No,
dope.
she is nice, Shem.
And I'm happy to almost share a name with her.
Yeah,
She's dope.
Shem. So it's not Filah, it's a Filah Lah Lah.
Would you consider dropping the extra la so it could
course.
be Filah Lah? Because Filah Lah Lah. And this happens. I mean, George Michael wasn't named George Michael. Stevie Wonder, all these names, people change their names. And I think South Africans sometimes are like, no, this is what I'm going to be called. I'm going to stick to it. But you need things that roll off nicely off the tongue.
Well, also you could just call me Filah.
Showcase.
Definitely.
And there you
My
have
name.
it. Beautiful guest for today, Filah Lah Lah.
Humbly addict. Hey boy, humbly addict. Just in my pockets.
Tricking Yana. Well, at least you're prepared for December. Don't worry.
Thank you so much for watching us, guys. Really appreciate it. Shout outs to you and the team.
Yes.
Cosmo, you want to close it up for us?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, to our beautiful guest, please do check out her music, stream her stuff as well, support her. And let's obviously just wait and see when the album's out. Where can people follow you on socials?
My handle is at Filah _la_la. All H's after the last.
Beautiful. And there you have it. Pop Radio.
Oh, YouTube. I think you need to mention that they could subscribe on
Yes,
YouTube
please
because that's where the
subscribe.
visuals and the songs are at.
The visuals are so beautiful. Please subscribe to my YouTube.
Yes.
Please. They're so beautiful. Filah Lah Lah. Filah Lah Lah.
And we are out of here, baby. We out of here, baby.